Phobias, fears, and trauma. Now, these are three terms, and you'll notice that your clients are often very imprecise with the terms that they use. So we need to work with them to define and refine the terms they use and therefore the precise issues that they actually have. This is part of hearing their presenting issue and working to find out their real issue. Phobias. Phobic reactions are uniquely suited to hypnotherapy. They can be an example of one trial learning, which means a single negative experience that has a sufficiently strong emotional charge becomes installed through that one time as a programmed automatic subconscious response. The root cause is often in early childhood and is often known to the client's conscious mind. If it's not known, we can recover it in hypnosis. And with things like fears, there's always the possibility that a root cause isn't far back in this life, but it can also be in a past life. And that's something I pick up on in my Past Life Awakening Institute. Now, for hypnotherapy, the cause is typically a single event with actions that anchor a strong emotion of fear generated by that specific event. So specific triggers similar to the initial event can reproduce the fear as a visible physiological phobic reaction. Just seeing a picture of a snake can cause them to flinch, or take protective body language, or start to quiver noticeably in their body and speech. That's just thinking about it. If they actually encounter it in real life, they are likely to jump, scream, run from the room, take evasive action because they cannot deal with it at all, and will take emergency measures to avoid it. So in this case, they want to overcome their inability to deal with the situation. Phobias tend to be very specific. People will say they have a fear of public speaking, but we have to continue to define and refine what they mean. Our questioning can reveal that they in fact do not have fear when speaking to groups of 20 or less. It's only when they get to groups that require a microphone that triggers the fear response. Or they can talk to large groups of their peers at a conference, but freeze up in small groups of their seniors in a boardroom. Fears tend to have multiple, more minor causes. They don't produce an extreme physiological reaction when just discussing it. People can white-knuckle their way through events instead of automatically running away from them. So with fear, they can deal with it to some extent, but they're just quite uncomfortable. And they may not be able to avoid it or run screaming from it, so they have to stand and face it. So with fears, people want to overcome their discomfort as they are forced to face and deal with it. The process given in general hypnotherapy can be enough to deal with simple fears. Phobia clients tend to have an extra level of trepidation about just starting the sessions and have an extra sensitivity while in the sessions. Because as we mentioned, just by thinking about it can begin a phobic reaction. So we need to adjust how we start the process and the techniques we use in hypnosis. If you're not sure if your clients have fears or phobias, we can proceed with caution and use the phobia techniques just in case. Trauma. These specific phobia techniques can also be applied for clients with strong single event trauma that creates a phobic-like imprint due to strong fear or anger that can have a root cause event of violence or abuse. So the utility of this specialty is far from limited to the fear ofs or phobias list. And it can be a very useful tool to use if you find severe trauma events too.